Hello. It's moving day. There's a police helicopter above me. I've just come off 9 days in a row doing Halloween ghost stories for children. Ooh. And, in the middle of that, a ghost walk on Hampstead Heath. Ooh. And prior to that, I had a week and a half in the Netherlands, and there's a video coming soon about my experience of the Stront Race 25. We have a lot of chores to do today. Move the boats, light a fire, tidy up, and get cracking. When I was filling up with coal, I put quite a lot of it on Georgia, and it's been sitting in the boat. And I don't like living with a big pile of coal on Georgia, so I need to open up this hatch and pop some coal in here. Picking up the coal and taking it away. I came up with a brainwave to avoid attaching my solar panels to the roof, and this is my solution, is to use a bungee cord to the boom. This survived Storm Benjamin with aplomb. It does mean another job that has to be done to set up Linda for moving day. My little blue boat full of rubbish needs to be emptied of water.
And now, can you guess what's wrapped around the prop? No? Neither can I! Luckily in London, the human waste mixed into the water is free range and organic. The journey we're going to make is a very short one. It's to get off the Limehouse Cut and into the Regents Canal. This is Limehouse Marina, with the spooky clouds rushing in. Ooh. Yeah. Sorry about that. It was pretty much 9 days on the trot doing horror ghost stories to children. Sometimes it's hard to shed that energy after you've finished. It is quite grey. It's a bit windy, but it's not too cold. So this is a relatively pleasant, straightforward cruise. Limehouse Marina was originally the Regent's Dock, and this route into the Regent's Canal was to deliver coal to the people of London and the gasworks. The coal was shipped from Newcastle down the North Sea, up the Thames and to the dock. This is Commercial Road Lock, and it's closed at night to conserve water, and it's November. Sorry, we seem to be having some sort of technical difficulty. This The music isn't appropriate for this scene. Sorry, there seems to be something seriously wrong.
Arr! Did you miss me? It's the sea captain here. Looks like I've got control of the edit. Horror is not just for Halloween, it's for life. Spooky.
I'm terribly sorry. We seem to be having some technical difficulties, but I believe they are now resolved, and the sea captain is put back in the brig. Here are some lovely images of East London and the Regents Canal. We're now coming up to our second and last lock of the journey.
I think I do a better job at the voiceovers. Oh, look at that pretty little flower. It's an evil flower.
Oh, for God's sake, Halloween is over.
Oh, I better skedaddle. Somebody's got their knickers in a twist. Loser. This is a very interesting boat, as it is an homage to a Bridgewater Canal tugboat, which would have been steam at the time. And this is built in the dimensions of a narrowboat and probably has a diesel engine. And this brings us to the end of our journey. Remember the 5th of November. Gunpowder treason and a plot. I see no reason why gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Guy Fawkes, 'twas his intent to blow up the king and parliament. 70 barrels of powder below, poor old England to overthrow. By God's providence was he catched, and with the dark lantern and burning match. Holler boys, let the bells ring. Holler boys, God save the king. This is the back cabin of Linda, and I did a bit of a tidy up back in June, but I haven't ever shown you this. I've been asked in the comments to show you this. This is 115 years old. This is the original cabin. This is what a family would be brought up in. If you're familiar with traditional narrowboats, it's pretty much the same, except it's a little bit bigger because Linda's a little bit bigger. The oak is all original. Those brackets, probably not. The glass is 70s, and everything behind and the roof is plywood. So it's the facade that you're looking at, which is original. I'm not touching it at all. But this explains why I'm putting in all of this paneling, because it is inspired by the back cabin. And now we're going to continue with the roof on the kitchen. And this is what I'm doing right now, is assembling all the panels for around the shower and dinette. I'm sanding the panels, and as I'm doing that, I'm discovering these large gouges with ancient filler in it. So I'm removing all of the filler, but I'm not going to refill them because I believe that these have historic significance. I'm preparing them to be shown, and I will be able to tell this tale every time I point to the marks in the ceiling.
It was here on the 29th of December 1940 that the Luftwaffe flew overhead and destroyed the city of London, including St. Giles Cripplegate. The white phosphorus bombs came raining down and torched this building. The heat was so great that the lead roof melted. That and the phosphorus is the reason why I have the marks I have on my panels, as the wooden panels were from this church. Well, the wooden panels I'm putting up in the roof came from this church, and as fire rained down upon it, caused the damage to the panels. Naturally, after World War II, there was no money, so people filled in the damage and reused a lot of what was still available. But eventually, all of it was got rid of in favor of modern pews. And that's why I ended up with these panels on Linda. I have gotten myself more copper. I know what you're thinking. What's that for? Surprise for later. I need to put those up here. But to do that, this needs to be put over there. Ta-da! Now I need to find the oak for this, wherever I put it. I have a feeling it's in there.
This is brand new, expensive oak. I'm very tired when I'm doing this, so I'm getting the excuse in early now. Unbeknownst to me, I've measured this wrong, and I'm about to cut into it. The blade I'm using is completely blunt, but I'm now stubbornly carrying on regardless, and that's why there's so much smoke coming off the blade, because it's literally burning through the wood. I eventually calm the hell down and get a new blade. And now it's cutting fine.
I have just made a terrible error, which means that this is now trash. It's supposed to go in there. I knew there'd be a gap up here, but what I was supposed to do was leave that uncut and then start the angle there. Anyway, it's all wrong. Well, what am I going to do with this? Thankfully, up here, there are gaps and they need to be filled. Strips of oak going in there will sort that out. Oh, by the way, now I've got 1, 2, and that one is the other half of that piece of oak there. Where that piece of oak met the roof, I was going to use this. But if I did use this, I'd have very little of that oak visible. Now I'm thinking maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I'm going to use this scaffold board and use that instead of the oak, and I'll just dye it and varnish it and nobody's going to know the difference, as long as you don't tell anyone. Now I just need to make it look pretty.
I've sanded it down, and now it's time to dye it.
I'm actually quite impressed at how that turned out. Of course, it's only been dyed, it hasn't been varnished or anything. When I finish it off with the surrounds, it'll be good. Well, now I'm thinking, since that turned out so well, I'm going to continue using that scaffold board for here and here. I have made up some bits.
A little spot of Danish oil, I think.
Inside the shower, the panels have their end pieces in them. And once all of this gets polished up, it'll feel like a phone booth.